don't just do something because your parents want you to do it, and that's a tough conversation that you gotta have with your parent, but with the lungs and the heart. So I was like, okay, respiratory care sounds good to me. Mental health is really like a stigma. Nobody really talks about you. You know, you don't sit down with your parents and say, oh, I think I'm depressed, or I think I have, I don't know, schizophrenia. And then I got fired. I got fired. And then, like everything that I do, at the end of the day, you know, I'm accountable for me.
Tupo site. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, mambo vipi? Welcome to Kenya Marekani. Today we have a very nice story here of a good friend of mine who graduated, and here in Kenya Marekani we just feature and try to bring the best out of every Kenyan living here, and mostly to inspire not only young people but everybody from all different walks, so that we can feel inspired and we can feel proud of ourselves and tell our own story. So today we have a special guest here, and without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, before we even welcome her, make sure you subscribe and click that bell so that anytime we bring you new information, you are there to see us. So karibu sana, my good friend Cynthia.
Thank you so much.
Which name do you want us to call you in this show?
Cynthia is perfect.
Cynthia is perfect. Oh wow, karibu sana.
Thank you.
Have you ever had an interview before?
Well, no, not formally. This is gonna be my first formal interview.
Wow, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
we
it.
were supposed to do this when you were graduating, but
I know.
God's timing is the best.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
yeah. So
yeah.
Before we even continue, maybe first things first, introduce yourself, and then so we can move from there.
Okay, so my name is Cynthia. I am 20-something years old. I'm young. And yeah, I've been living in Washington for the past 10 years, and I graduated this year on my birthday, so this year has been great for me, I can say that for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. On your birthday?
Yeah, on my birthday.
Did you think about it, or you just came?
I didn't think about it. I knew it was gonna be, you know, because my birthday is in June, and you know, schools here graduate in June mostly. So I knew it was gonna be around that time. I just didn't know that it was gonna be exactly on my birthday.
Wow,
so
that's
yeah.
what a coincidence.
Yep, God's timing, right? God's timing.
I know. It rotates around that.
Yeah.
So let's first of all, first things first. When did you move to the US, and how did you come?
Okay, so I moved to the US in 2012 when I'm not gonna tell you my age anyway.
People have calculators.
I know. So in 2012, I came over here. My parents were here already. My parents have been here. My dad's been here since 2008, and so you know he did his magic. God bless him. He was able to bring us kids over. So all of us siblings, 4 of us, we moved here in 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So 2012. Maybe you were high school or?
I had just finished, so I finished in 2011.
Wow,
yeah.
that's fantastic. So the cultural difference moving to the US, coming from high school, all fresh.
Yeah, it was culture shock for sure, because you know, this is me in 2012. I haven't even been out of high school for a year, so I'm just, you know, getting into the excitement of, okay, now I get to live my life. And then to move here and find that people around that time have already figured out their lives. Like they did all those things in high school. They partied, they dated, you know, they did whatever in high school. The things that us in Kenya don't get to do, because you know, most of us go to boarding school, so we don't get to do those things. So moving here at that time, I just felt, for lack of a better word, very immature in life. No experience at all. So that culture shock was, you know, immediately you have to think about getting a job. You have to think about, you know, things like that people my age from this country have already done those things, you know, so they felt so new. Like it just felt like a new culture that I wasn't, you know, used to. Like there wasn't any time to be a kid anymore, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see that. So did you come to join university immediately when you moved here, or?
Well, that was my goal, but then we, you know, like I said, my dad was fortunate enough to be able to, you know, work the process and grant us, like, you know, permanent residency. So we knew that we were gonna be here for a long time. But yeah, I did plan on, you know, joining college immediately. Like because in Kenya I was actually gonna, you know, start college in 2012, university. So that was my plan. Like I immediately wanted to go to college, to uni, you know, because that's what we're used to back home. But then again, you know, you move here, you have to get your stuff straight, you have to get a job, you have to get used to the culture. So it was a little bit of a derailment. So I actually didn't join college until 2014.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that really shocked and you had to align yourself to, especially in the US?
Man, the fact that, you know, people went to school and had jobs, that was very new to me. Because, you know, remember back home, you finish your Form 4, you go to uni, you don't really work, you know, you work after college. So seeing teenagers my age, you know, juggling school and work, it was like, wait a minute, like this is actually doable. They're doing both, you know. And then the dating culture, just seeing people that were 18 already married, and me having like almost zero dating experience because I'm like fresh out of boarding school, you know. Like we used to see boys like once every 3 months, and then you had to go back to school. So that was very different for me, you know. And this just fast-paced life of like go, 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 barely any play. That was very interesting for me.
What was your first job when you came now?
Oh God, what was my... Man, you're taking me back. What was my first job? It was a caregiving job. I don't necessarily remember where, but I remember like hating it because I didn't know what to do. Yeah. So I think I was there for a few months, and then I got fired. I got fired.
Not many people admit.
I swear, I got fired because like I was young, you know. I had no discipline as far as like, you know, working. Like I didn't know those things, you know. So I got fired. And then I was like, okay, you know, this is serious.
Yeah,
this is serious. This is serious business.
You know, America, people think that people outside America, they might think that you don't need the discipline to maintain being in America.
Right.
You need a lot of discipline.
You need
both
a lot
driving,
of discipline.
Work, school.
Yep, you need a lot of discipline. You need a lot of focus. You need to remember that regardless of what's going on around you, your friends, your peers, all of that stuff, at the end of the day, you're by yourself here. It doesn't matter if you came with your family. Doesn't matter. Like, it's you, your life, your documents. It's you. You get in trouble, you're accountable for you. You don't go to school, you're accountable for you. You don't work, you're accountable for you. So I think people tend to forget that because back home it's a very, I don't want to say socialist, but you know, you move with the crowd. You know, you all go to school, you all go to uni, and then you all go partying. So that was a big difference and something that I had to learn. Like everything that I do, at the end of the day, you know, I'm accountable for me. So yeah, that was big.
Wow. So you know, people think young people don't have anything to say. You gotta sit down, take a book and a pen, write some of this stuff. Because we are in the bench, by the way. The bench.
We got some knowledge, okay? Just talk to us. Don't assume. Just talk to us. We know a few things.
We're gonna come to that. We're gonna come to that. So what is the inspiration now to go to school, and what is the course that you majored in?
So I majored in respiratory care. And my motivation, other than money, is that, you know, I wanted to find a purpose. And, you know, people think, oh, you come here, you just get into healthcare. But really, healthcare was too broad for me. Like, healthcare was just way too broad. And I found, you know, what is it called? Like a specific, you know, part of healthcare that I really wanted to do. I wanted to do cardiopulmonary and, you know, things to do with the lungs and the heart. So I was like, okay, respiratory care sounds good to me. I don't want to necessarily deal with the whole body. I just kind of want to, you know, specifically just, you know, be there for the lungs, the heart, the airway, everything that has to do with breathing and stuff like that. That really intrigued me. So yeah, that's why.
So that was your personal choice?
That was my personal choice, yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen some parents pressure children to do something. Then they finish that thing after 8 years. Then they tell their parents, take your degree, I want to do my stuff. That was kind of wastage of time.
Yep, you're right. And you know what's funny is that I, at first, was actually in school for nursing. And I completely, like, it wasn't my passion for me. Like I said, again, it was too broad. I really couldn't find myself there. But then, you know, being in healthcare and seeing all these other medical professionals, because, you know, people just think nurse and doctor. But there's so many other people who do so many different things and who deal with so many aspects of healthcare and medicine and the human body that people really just don't know about. So me being in healthcare for as long as I've been and working in a hospital for 6 years, you know, I was able to see other medical professionals, like, what does this person do? This person just came in and did ABCD test. I want to know what they did. So I actually used to be the person who walks around and asks people, what is your job title?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking to see where I fit in. And then I found respiratory, and I was like, wow, like you guys are actually interesting. You guys are resuscitating people, you know, doing life support and all that stuff. I was like, that is what I want to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was your passion, because now if you get that job, you'll do it out of passion, not just out of pay.
And wanting to learn and wanting to better myself, right? Not because, you know, my parents said I should do. Of course, they said I should do something, but then, you know, I chose this something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So just in case there's somebody who wants to know, what does the course entail? Like, what did you need to do? Did you need to do prereqs? And like, take us through the period of time that is needed. Yeah.
So with anybody going into college, obviously you have to do your general education classes. So I started in 2014. I did a general associates in, I think it's arts, where you do like your not arts but applied sciences, where you do your math, you know, science, all that stuff. And that took 2 years. So I ended up, you know, doing my prereqs for 2 years. I actually got a degree in pre-nursing, which is basically just, you know, all those classes together. It just ended up being a pre-nursing degree. And then after that, like I said, I took a break, but then after applying to respiratory program, it was another additional 2 years. So 2 years or so, give or take, to do your prereqs, and then 2 years for your program, so your, you know, specific study. So about 4 years in total, I would say.
So like straight? Did you have to pause, like, to concentrate with work, concentrate with one thing?
I did. So let's see the timeline. So I started in 2014, and that's when I started college. And then by 2016, I had graduated with the pre-nursing transfer degree. And then I went straight to nursing school in 2017, but then I was like, you know what, I need to step back. So 2017, I took a break from school. So between 2017 and 2019, I really just worked and, like, just, you know, I guess lived life and, you know, figured out what I wanted to do. And then 2019 is when I decided I wanted to go back. So summer of 2020, that's when I went back for my my program. So between 2020 and now 2022, I graduated.
How did you keep the balance, like, for school, work, family, sherehe kidogo?
Sherehe kidogo, of course. I mean, I'm blessed that I'm single. I don't have kids. I'm not married, so that part is, you know, pretty easy. But then, yeah, you're right. Like, I missed out on a lot of things. I missed out on a lot of friends. You know, I lost friends. People didn't understand that I had to, you know, put me first. And then it was also a compromise because I had to work part-time instead of full-time. So, you know, here I am, semi-broke, and then going to school. You know, it was a lot of discipline. But then again, that's where accountability comes in, right? Ninajua, like, if I don't go to school, I paid for it, they're not gonna give me my money, and I'm not gonna get my degree. If I don't go to work, then the bills don't get paid. You know, so it's you have to keep yourself afloat. And then you also have to remember it's only for a season. It's literally 2 years that I had to go back to school and get this thing done. Then I have the rest of my life to do whatever I need to do. You know, I can venture into other things if I want to. So I guess just, you know, affirmations, like, keep telling yourself it's only for a season, right? You're not in school forever. It's gonna come and go, and then you can go do whatever you want, you know? So yeah, I guess.
So there's a pressure, there's a point you said you were in school and semi-broke.
Very, more broke than semi-broke, like, it was, yeah.
But there's a pressure that comes, especially with family back home, because they realize once you come to America, you become our small god of money. And they don't know that here people sometimes they struggle. Did you have some pressure of people wanting you to help them, and you can't afford, but you can't tell them you don't have anything?
I struggled with that, but again, you know, is your buddy asking for $500 back home to go party, is that a priority? I'm maybe going to school is a priority, you know what I mean? So again, mostly for people who have family back home that rely on them, you know, it's all about prioritizing what really needs to get done. You know, what really needs to get done. And then it's you also being disciplined enough. Okay, if you know that I have to make money to send back home, let me hurry up and get my homework done, so maybe I can pick up an extra shift. You know, instead of going out tonight, which is a Friday night, you know, and my homework is done, let me go pick up an extra shift. So again, that's where discipline comes in, and you have to prioritize things and learn how to say no. If it's not really important that you send money back home, tell them, hey, you know what? Maybe next month I got you, right? You don't have to support other people while you're drowning here, because life does get tough.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a place I read, no is a full sentence. You don't have to...
That is facts. That is facts. You don't have to justify it. No is no.
Yeah, no is a full sentence.
You're right about that. Yeah.
Wow.
You're right.
Now you graduated. You got work immediately, or you continued with the work that you're doing?
So, graduation is like the tip of the iceberg, right? Because then with any medical profession, you have to take the board exams. I have to take 2 board exams, for crying out loud. And then you have to apply for your license. They gotta do background checks. Again, accountability. If you were partying all of last year and you got your DUIs and stuff like that, they're gonna find out, you know? So I have to wait for all that stuff to process. So right now, I do have job offers, thank God, but I have to wait for my license to process. Until it actually says on the Department of Health website that I'm a respiratory care practitioner with an active license, I can't work. So graduation is really like step 1 of 10.
Yeah. There's something that we mentioned, DUI, and Washington State is a free state. There is freedom of drugs,
Right.
freedom of anything you want to do.
Right.
But then the catch is acceptable until you want to look for a job.
Exactly.
That's where the catch is.
Exactly.
So, how do you keep yourself balanced that you don't engage too much, such that you are now into the government black books?
Right. I think personal discipline, and again realizing that, you know, as much of a free state as this is, the employment is not a free place. You know, there's hospital systems here that won't even allow you to work if you smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes are legal, right? You can buy a cigarette right now and you can smoke. Same thing with weed, but then when you go to that employer and they take a drug test of you, of your urine,
out.
Exactly. So you need to like find out what loopholes there are, you know, that people can, you know, get you caught up on, like here. So again, it's just discipline, like, and really I've never really been a drug person. I mean, I'll drink here and there, sherehe, you know, but then at the same time it's like, is all of that worth me not having a future? Like, I'll go have fun, trust me, I'll go have fun, but you know, I'll do it responsibly.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of
There's
people get
limits.
caught up. Yeah. Oh, it's legal. But then, did you check with your field that you want to get into? Come on, you know, they accept those things that you're doing. So again, it's just being disciplined and learning the way around it.
Wow. We are preaching without preaching.
I guess.
This is good stuff, because we are the mirror of our community, and we don't have to preach like the conventional preaching.
Right.
We can use these action-based plans and
Right.
talk to our young people, and since we understand this language, they can probably understand what we are talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. I see you're really focused. What about mental stability here in the US?
Oh man, that's a big topic. A lot of us are honest. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of us young people are really struggling in silence, because among us Africans, mental health is really like a stigma. Nobody really talks about you. You know, you don't sit down with your parents and say, "Oh, I think I'm depressed," or "I think I have, I don't know, schizophrenia," or something. Those are not conversations that are had. So you're right. People are struggling, you know, silently. And then, you know, you've seen that there's rise in suicide amongst young people. So my thing is, you know, we gotta get the parents involved in this, you know? Like, you have to keep that open communication, with your children, you know, us as youths. If your friend comes to you and says, you know, honestly, like, I feel like I'm struggling. It's quite like, we watch, you know, hizo ni vitu za wazungu. No, it really isn't.
Pray for you.
Exactly. Prayers can only go so far. You know, if somebody needs to go see a therapist, you know, go see a psychiatrist, go get on medication. Let's stop, like, you know, shunning people for that stuff, because people really are struggling. And the fact that at Wanangi, you know, the sun, you know, we get like 2 months of sunshine. How are we supposed to be happy in 2 months of sunshine, you know?
Yeah, they say it's a huge contribution.
It really is.
Depression in Washington State.
It really is. So we have to have those conversations, you know. Don't turn people away because you think somebody is depressed. You know, we don't deal with those. No, they are very, very real, and they're happening every day, and people are taking their lives, you know. People are taking their own lives, so yeah.
Wow. So what do you advise somebody out there watching you? We're not saying we've arrived.
Right,
but,
definitely not.
from our journey, we have something we can tell somebody who is struggling out there.
Follow your dreams, man. You know, follow your dreams. We're young. Don't be too scared to risk it. You know, don't be too scared. You're gonna make mistakes anyway. It doesn't matter if you try and play it safe or not. And then just, you know, don't just do something because your parents want you to do it. And that's a tough conversation that you gotta have with your parent. But at the same time, you know, this is a career that you're gonna have for like 40 years. Like if you just doing something for your parents, you know, you're gonna be in for it. And then just, you know, have fun with life. You know, there's so much here that we can take advantage of. You know, just try and live a full life, honestly. I think that's the way to go. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Any future plan? Do you want to go back to school, do something else?
I do actually. I want to go back. So respiratory is just like one of my passions.
Yeah.
My other passion is theater, and I don't know if
yes,
see me do a little.
By the way, I wanted to go into that, and you reminded me something very. I wanted to ask this question because you told me you were an actor in National Theatre.
Yeah, I am, and I was.
I really wanted to ask this question. I don't know how it disappeared. Like finding yourself as a thespian here in United States.
That was interesting. So, you know, I started theater back at home, you know, in high school. We do music, drama festivals, whatever. And I actually found out that I liked it a lot. Like I liked being on stage. I loved the adrenaline of it or whatever. And so after I finished Form 4, I joined traveling theater in Nairobi, ilikuwa inaitwa Mabingwa Players Theater. Shout out to Mabingwa. And they got me started, you know, so we would do plays around the country for the few months that I was there before we came here. And then after that, it just kind of, you know, I had to put that in a back burner. And then like around 2017, when I got out of school the first time, I really started to think about it, like, wait a minute, like, why did I let this dream die? So, you know, I just started to Google, like, are there any theaters around me, you know, where are the auditions at? And then finally in like 2018, 2019, I actually gathered enough courage to go for my first audition in America, and I went and I got it the first try.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I guess we're doing this
big
thing.
Up. So you ever staged a play?
Oh yeah, many plays. Yeah, the last project I did here was right before the pandemic in 2020. We did an all-black play, all-black cast play.
Wow.
It was called Shattering in 2020. I'll send you the YouTube link. It's actually pretty cool.
I need to watch that.
Yeah. And then we ended up getting featured on the National American Association of Theater magazine. Yeah. So my face is actually on the page for the front page for 2020.
Big up.
Yeah. So don't think that, you know, you're too small for your dreams.
What I'm gathering here, and it's something I've always confirmed, is even if you go to school and do whatever else God has given you, there's something that God has given you for free.
Amen.
And that thing is the thing that will put you in the limelight.
That's true. I think God gives you just a little bit of it. You know it's there. You have the passion for it. You have to develop it, right? And the other thing is, you know, all the things that make us different are the things that are going to sell you.
Yes.
Like when I go for auditions, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have an accent. You know, like that's gonna push people away. Matter of fact, that's what attracts directors. They're like, come here. You know, I hear an accent. Where are you from? What have you done? You know, outside of the United States, what did you do back home? And the things that I think are boring or make me different or, you know, make me, you know, ukuchini are the things that attract them. So don't be afraid to be different. Let it shine, you know, just go for it, man. Go for whatever it is. So
Kenyans watching this, you think she's twanging. In America,
oh my God, imagine. Oh my God. Mkamba is crazy, huh? That's funny, but yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing. Next time you go for a show, call us. We need to come and support you.
I definitely will. I plan on actually getting back as soon as I get, you know, the respiratory stuff handled and my license comes through and I start working. I'm gonna go back to auditioning, so I'll definitely keep you posted.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What is your last shot? Parting shot?
Oh man, just enjoy life. Go for the things that you want to go for. You know, try and stay true to yourself. It's easier said than done, but you know, America is such a a second chance for us, you know. Some of the things that we didn't get to do back home, we're getting to do them here. And, you know, just inspire people, man. Just be a light. Be a light for people. That's all I gotta say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God
Thanks for
bless you.
having me.
That was a light
Thank you.
conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, keep it Mkenya Marekani. This is the platform. We engage, we motivate, and of course, we even give you tips on how you can come to the US. US is for everybody. Yeah?
Answer
It's
that.
not for the special. It's for everybody. God bless you. Subscribe, share, like. Yeah, and if you're good enough, you can also become a member of Mkenya Marekani. That's when you pay a small amount every month to just support the work we are doing. This is a lot. She will tell you the production took a lot.
Yeah, it
Took
did.
1 hour to set up these things, and then the show is 20 minutes.
Yep, pretty
So,
much.
yeah, so God bless you. How can guys find you, by the way, if you want Instagram?
My Instagram is at @therealsin, so that's THE.REAL.CYN. I'm also on TikTok with the same handle. And what else do I have? Snapchat is at @ForeverSin, so FOREVRE.CYN. So, yeah.
Cheers. God bless you.
Thank you.